Hi guys, this is Luke Johnson from Noetic, the Humanities Teaching app, and I'm back with Holly Holt for our Friday poetry lesson. And I'm just going to hand the reins over to her and let her teach us something.
All right. Sidney Lanier is the one that I'm doing this today. He's one of those Georgia poets that everything seems to be named after. Lake Lanier, Lanier Tech, and so on. From a personal perspective, Lanier was one of the first poets I read as a child. I found his work in an old school book that my great-grandmother taught out of, regarding the story of Georgia. I remember thinking, Georgia has poets? I didn't know why I thought this way, but a child's wonder is one that's both equally genuine and a tad naive. Becoming the woman I am now, who is a bit of a dabbler in poetry, my initial wonder, and feel that I owe the me of yesterday an analysis of one of her favorite poets. A Song of the Future by Sidney Lanier is one of those rare gems of poetry you can't help but feel good after reading. I couldn't find an analysis of this particular poem, though there are many of another piece, Song of the Chattahoochee. The word that these two have in common, of course, is song. According to the poets.org website dedicated to Lanier's bio, there's a statement of, in the poet's youth in central Georgia, it was music that first captured his interest. He learned to play the violin, flute, piano, banjo, and guitar. Many don't realize that, but poetry and music have much in common. From rhythm to repetition in order to become familiar with the content. For example, there's a world of poetic beauty in these lyrics. Leaves are falling all around. It's time I was on my way. Thanks to you, I'm much obliged for such a pleasant stay. But now it's time for me to go. The autumn moon lights my way. For now I smell the rain, and with it pain, and it's headed my way. Now, I'm not comparing Lanier to Led Zeppelin, but you can see where music and poetry meet. And Lanier's ability to write with music in his mind is what has kept him a classic since the 1800s. With that said, allow me to read the poem and begin my analysis. A Song of the Future by Sidney Lanier. Sail fast, ark of my hopes, ark of my dreams. Sweep lordly o'er the drowned past, fly glittering through the sun's strange beams. Sail fast, sail fast. Breaths of new buds from off some drying lea, with news about the future sent the sea. My brain is beating like the heart of haste. I'll loose me a bird upon this present waste. Go, trembling song, and stay not long, oh, stay not long. Thou art only a grey and sober dove, and thine eye is faith, and thy wing is love. There is a world spiritually contained in this poem. When we think of ark, of course, what biblical figure pops into mind? Noah. One can hear that the water on which the ark is sailing represents the past. Early in the poem, the words sail fast are used 4 times, which hints at a sense of urgency to keep on towards the future and not let the past cause the ark to falter. Further, there is light contained here, present in the lines that state, fly glittering through the sun's strange beams. This represents the dove, whose presence builds throughout the poem. We are also given a sense of hope through the lines, breaths of new buds from off some drying lea, with news about the future sent the sea. I believe many people can relate to this, through extending a strong effort, a dove, into the plans of tomorrow. When we see this lea, we see signs that our efforts are amounting to something. Personally, for me as a college student, the breaths of new buds are represented best by taking an exam and seeing the drying lea of a grade that shows me I'm closer to where I need to be. Lee brings the scent of victory in pursuit of completing my goals. One of my favorite lines in this poem is, "My brain is beating like the heart of haste." If you feel passionate about something, you can't stop thinking about it, working to achieve it, and there's a throbbing feeling within your skull of desperately wanting to acquire it. The poem's end, the dove, the effort, is being sent out with a repetition of "stay not long, oh, stay not long," because it is needed to return, so we can see how the future is shaping. In Lanier's own life, according to the GeorgiaEncyclopedia.org page dedicated to him, he was frequently impoverished and sometimes ill with the ever-present tuberculosis, which was exacerbated by stress and worry. Back to the Poetry.org site, in addition to treatments and growing exhaustion, Lanier's artistic temperament was split by his love for both music and literature. Practicing law with his father for several years, he was urged to consider that profession, to which Lanier responded in a letter, "My dear father, think how for 20 years, through poverty, through pain, through weariness, through sickness, through the uncongenial atmosphere of a farcical college and of a bare army, and then of an exacting business life. Think how, in spite of all these depressing circumstances, these two figures of music and poetry have steadily kept in my heart so that I cannot banish them." His life maintained a sense of urgency, much like the one maintained throughout this poem. Yet there was always something else there. There was hope. Hope that his efforts, his sitting out the dove, would all be worth it in the end. His life's legacy not only breathes all over Georgia, but his legacy is Georgia, my Georgia. And I like to think of it that his heart still beats, even long after his death. All right.
Holly, that was a beautiful audio essay, and
Thank you.
I have to say that your delivery was really wonderful. I could listen to you do narrations like that forever, and I hope that we continue on this partnership for some time. It's really a joy. Thank you so much for assembling that and for teaching me this poem.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. I just want to let everyone know that they can download the Noetic app on their iPhone and Droid devices and take a listen to all of Holly's works, other poets that we have on, people discussing philosophy, variety of other things that we deal with in the humanities. Take care, Holly. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, cool. Thanks.